My name's Jeremy Souter. I was part of Discipleship Camp this week. My counselors were Brendan and Jake this week, and I really loved my cabin. We were a tight group of guys and we got along pretty well. My family has been coming up to camp for a number of years, and I really like it up here. It's just a lot of fun being here. My favorite part of camp this week was probably the trip to Harrisburg, because it was really fun being in the neighborhood and helping people out and talking to people, praying for people. This week I probably learned that we have to work from love and not for love, because God already loves us and He gave us His love, so we just have to take that and work with it. This week I really saw God in a lot of places, in Harrisburg, in worship, time with my friends and counselors, pastors, and I just felt God was really close with this group this week. I am planning to come back next year because I love this place. It's so much fun.
Hi, my name is Dominique Klauser, and I am attending Discipleship Camp at Camp Hebron. This was not my first experience here at camp. I've come here different summers, and I have picked different camps each year so that I get a wider range of what camp is really about and just different experiences. My favorite part of camp was most definitely open worship in the mornings and the evenings, because just looking around and seeing like every person worshiping in their own way. Kids would draw or get up and dance or sing, and no one cared how they looked or if they felt silly. And just being able to connect with God in our own ways was like completely overpowering. I made a big leap this week. I shared my testimony with the girls in my cabin and some other counselors, and it was hard at first, looking back on hardships that I've been through and just trying to put into words how even though I felt sometimes like God put me through more trials than anyone else, it was really, He was just saying, in a way, just, I'm here for you, you can get through this. And I feel like even though I went through a lot growing up, I wouldn't change a thing, because every little thing brought me closer to God. This week I learned that, along with that, you may go through hardships and feel like God isn't around, that He's putting you through this because He doesn't like you, but no matter what, He always has His hand on you, and He never leaves your sides, even though we can fight back or we can completely reject Him, but He's always there. I had 3 counselors this week. We had 8 girls in our cabin, and the first day was kind of timid, but by the time we went to bed that night, it was like we had known each other our whole lives, and through the week we bonded. We would see one another almost crying during worship and immediately go over to them and pray over them, or just give them a hug until they knew why they were there or what they were upset about. And it's just amazing how, in the light of God, everyone can bond so quickly. This week, I saw God in every person who worshiped and just put their hands up to the Lord. Every time we listened to one of our pastors talk or just sang a song in praise of the Lord, you could just feel the Holy Spirit surrounding you, and it was one of the most beautiful things. And it was not something you could see or hold in your hand, but it was something that you always felt in your heart. I am definitely planning on coming back to Camp Hebron. I try to come every summer, sometimes twice if I can, and the experience every week that I come is so different, but it's always so amazing, and I always leave feeling so refreshed knowing that God has opened me up, and it gives me the opportunity to go home and say, I've made mistakes, but through it all, I know God has His hand on me, and the day that I finally decided to stand up and walk with Him has just changed my life. And Camp Hebron, I owe a lot of thanks to really opening me up to God, and I can't wait to come back till next summer.
Well, it's been a great week at camp. It's been wonderful having you here. And we're just so thrilled at the number of people who know and love camp. Our many families, many people find camp to be holy ground. We thought we'd ask one of those families who have been involved for many years if they'd just tell us why they love camp. Let's see what they say.
In my role at camp, I've served as a camp pastor and a camp staff pastor, and I got to see young people grow up in the Lord and become the future leaders of America's church. And now I'm in the role as a parent where I get to send my kids to camp, and I know that they're going to be in good hands, and that they're going to be challenged in their faith, and they're going to grow in their faith. And now with a daughter who is working on staff, I'm watching her grow.
I like swimming, and I also like learning about Jesus, and I also like making new friends.
I worked at camp 3 summers when I was a teen, and those 3 summers were really transformational for me because I got challenged in my own spiritual walk, and I got to see that serving God was really a lot of fun. There can be a lot of adventure and laughter and joy in serving God and doing things for Him.
I'm really, really happy that so many people are willing to work so hard to make this camp as good as they can for us so that we can enjoy it very much.
I'm really excited about going to camp this year because I'm doing discipleship camp, and my sister went before me and she said there's a lot of adventure aspects and also spiritual adventure, so I'm really excited to go this year.
What I love about camp is the staff. Even when I was a camper, and even now that I am on staff, I love their encouragement and all the happiness that they had.
I like the gym class because I get to hang out with my friends, and Dan Kennedy has some really awesome games that we can play, and it's really fun.
Wow, wasn't that great? One of the things I really love about Camp Hebron is it's so many things to so many people. But the thing we all have in common is we find holy ground at camp. And we're so glad you were here with us this week. And we hope that you'll want to come back and, like the Hawk says, be involved in a lot of different ways. You can come to more programs. You can invite others to come and enjoy the fun with you. We would love to have you give of your time and your talent as a volunteer and your treasure as you support things like the A-frame chapel that they were standing in front of, which came about through the generosity of people who know and love camp. So thanks again for being a part of this week with us, and we look forward to seeing you again at Camp Hebron, where people connect with God, nature, and each other.